Hey guys, what's going on? This video is a beginner's guide to selling stock footage. Okay, before we get into the tips and tricks about stock footage, I do want to bring up one thing, and that is the service called Blackbox. So Blackbox is basically a site where you upload your footage once and then they distribute it among multiple stock agencies. So for anyone getting into stock or interested in stock footage, this is like the perfect tool to get into it without having to do a ton of work figuring out all these different sites and trying to upload to this site, this site, this site. Blackbox basically allows you to upload once and it distributes all your footage for you. It's super helpful for anyone if you're a beginner or if you've even been selling stock footage for a long time. Personally, I've been doing it for years and I've switched my entire stock library over to Blackbox because I recognize how useful this service is and how easy it makes the upload and selling process of stock footage. Okay, so the link to Blackbox is down in the description. Make sure you check that out. But let's get into what is stock footage. So some of the most common questions that I've been getting are about what stock footage is. Stock footage clips are basically individual shots that are 5 to 59 seconds long. There are no cuts and there are not multiple angles in that one shot. It's just an individual shot. Ideally, you want to keep your shots around 30 seconds or less. So if you do have a clip that's 59 seconds, cut it into 2 and make it 2 shots available to sell. So this is your typical stock footage shot. If you notice, these shots are fluid from beginning to end. You got to cut off any heads or tails where the camera is moving. If you do have multiple angles to one scene, then just upload each angle as a separate clip. But don't overdo uploading the exact same angle over and over. So if you have a viewpoint and you have 5 shots of the same view, then don't upload it unless there's something distinctly different between the shots. There is no audio in stock footage. It's just footage. For resolution, you want to upload 1080p or higher. I suggest shooting everything in 4K and uploading in 4K because the higher resolution is going to earn you more money per shot. So how much do each of your shots sell as stock? Each shot will sell anywhere from $20 to $200 per shot. It all depends on your specs and the subject matter that you're shooting. So this is why I suggest shooting in 4K because 4K shots sell for a lot more than 1080p. So if you have the ability to have 4K in your camera, just always shoot 4K unless there's some sort of situation where you need to shoot 1080p. For me, whenever I'm shooting 120 or 180 frames per second in the GH5, I have to bump it down to 1080p, but I do that because I want to get that buttery slow motion footage. However, anything else, I'm gonna shoot in 4K, I'm gonna shoot 24 frames a second, I'm gonna shoot 30 frames a second, or I'm gonna shoot 60 and do some slow motion in 4K because I'm setting myself up to get the most amount of money out of each sale. So anything will sell, slow motion, time lapses, or real time. Make sure you're shooting a variety of different types of footage. A big key is make sure that your footage is not noisy. If you have noise in your footage when you're shooting in low light, consider applying a denoising filter as part of your editing process. Otherwise, your clip's gonna be rejected. A big thing is that you need to color grade all your clips so they pop. No log footage, but you also don't wanna overdo it. Try to grade so that anyone can use this footage in their project and not just create one specific look. You can also upload variations with different looks, but try not to do too much of the same thing. Okay, so let's talk about what to shoot and how to shoot it. So let's say you go outside and you wanna go shoot some stock footage. Well, what's the first thing that comes to mind to shoot? Well, you're gonna look up, you're gonna see some trees, you're gonna see some grass. There's gonna just be things around that you're like, oh, I could shoot this and upload it. Well, keep in mind that everyone else has the same kind of idea, and stock footage isn't a new thing. It's been around for a long time. So there is lots of footage of the same types of topics, things that are easy to shoot. Say a waterfall or a squirrel. Like these things are easy to shoot, so there's gonna be a lot of footage of it. I'm not saying don't upload this footage, but what I am saying is make sure that this footage, if you do decide to shoot a squirrel or a waterfall, make sure it's the best looking squirrel or waterfall that you've ever shot so that your footage stands out. To get ideas of what to sell for stock footage, I suggest browsing around different stock footage agencies, start typing in some different things that you might have access to and see what type of footage exists out there on the platforms. Or the best way to know where there's footage missing is to find the whole holes by searching for it on these stock websites. So for me, for example, I like to climb mountains. I'm a mountaineer. When I'm getting ready to go climb, I keep stock in the back of my head because I know I'm going to be in this situation that not a lot of people have access to. But I also don't want to shoot the same shots that other people are shooting. So I'll go on, I'll do some searches about what it is that I'm doing, what climb I'm doing, and maybe find some gaps, some holes of things that might fit in that I will be able to shoot when I'm out climbing. Other places to look are advertising. If you look on commercials or any ads online, you'll see what topics are trending. Well, there's a good chance if a topic is trending, then people are buying footage for that topic on stock agencies. So recently I've seen a ton of commercials revolving around travel. So there's a good chance that people are looking for travel-inspired footage because they're creating advertisements and campaigns around travel. Another thing to think about is time of year. If summer's coming up, then you might want to have more emphasis on footage that feels like summer, because people are going to be buying footage for a specific time of year. Maybe it's a holiday, maybe it's a big event coming up. You just got to think about what's coming up in the future. You got to think about what you're seeing in advertising, what you're seeing on the news. There's a lot of places to get inspiration of what to sell stock. If you're seeing a lot of one topic, there's a good chance that that topic is being looked for on these stock agencies. And one more key thing with what to sell is shooting footage with people in it. And yes, if you shoot a clip with people in your shot, you're gonna need to get a release because you can't sell anything as stock footage unless you have the rights cleared for it. So that's people, that's logos, that's specific places. If there's a person, place, or thing that is recognizable in your shot, you're gonna need to get a release for it. But people in shots do sell a lot. So if your shot does have people in it, but you don't have a release, you can sell this as editorial. And editorial footage is newsworthy or of the general public interest that is not cleared for commercial use. And yes, this footage still sells. One of the other most common questions that I get is, do you still own the rights to your footage once you upload it as stock? And the answer is yes. If you upload your footage as stock, you still own 100% of the rights to that clip and you can do whatever you want with it. So that circles back right to the beginning. What do you shoot for stock? Well, the answer is anything and everything. And I suggest shooting a bunch of different topics because the more different ideas and things you have in your portfolio, the more you'll see what sells, and then you can put more emphasis on shooting those kind of topics. Also keep in mind, time of year and things that are going on in the media are gonna reflect in what sells in stock. I suggest if you are new to stock footage, the first thing you do is go into your hard drives and look for any shot that could be sold as stock. Go through every bit of footage that you already have shot and is sitting on hard drives. Over the last 3 years, me and Rachel have been traveling a ton, and I was able to pull out 2,000 shots just from these hard drives that have been sitting around and they weren't doing anything. This is just random footage that I got while I was traveling. It's a mix of different styles of footage, some royalty-free, some editorial, but there is just so much footage on these hard drives that I was able to pull out a ton of shots ready to sell, and I didn't have to go out there and shoot anything new. So step one is dig through your hard drives, find anything and everything that can sell as stock, and start cutting that and uploading that. Step two is take what you've learned from going through your footage, going through this video, and go out there and shoot some new stock to get ready to upload. All right, guys, now you have everything that you need to know to go out there and start shooting and selling stock footage. Guys, if you have any more questions, please make sure you put them in the comments down below. If you haven't already, make sure you head over to Blackbox, sign up, get going, because the best thing to do is A, sign up first, B, get that footage ready, C, upload, and then D, go shoot some more. Guys, this is awesome. It's a great way to bring in some extra income. It's amazing how much money you can start bringing in as you get more footage online. Also, make sure you check out some of the other videos on my channel. I have a ton of filmmaking tutorials, and all of this knowledge will help you shoot better stock footage. I'll put some links down in the description below to some different playlists that will really help you guys shoot some awesome stock footage. Guys, that is it. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Come find me on Instagram or Twitter at JevanDovey. And guys, I can't wait to see how successful you are with stock footage, and I'll see you on the next one.